In response to Jeff's law, St. Lucie County enacted a bullying and harassment policy. This video tutorial will walk you through the key points of the policy. The St. Lucie County bullying policy guarantees a safe and secure educational setting that is free from bullying and harassment for all students and employees of the St. Lucie County School District. This policy prohibits bullying and harassment of any type. So, how is bullying defined by the legislation? Section 2A of St. Lucie County's policy defines bullying as repeatedly inflicting physical hurt or psychological distress on one or more students or employees. This includes unwanted and repeated written, verbal, or physical behavior, including any threatening, insulting, or dehumanizing gesture by an adult or student that is severe enough to cause an intimidating, hostile, or offensive educational environment. Bullying may also be behavior that causes discomfort or humiliation, or that unreasonably interferes with a student's performance or participation in school. To be more specific, bullying may include, but is not limited to, these acts: teasing, social exclusion, threat, intimidation, stalking, physical violence, theft, public humiliation, destruction of property, sexual, religious, racial, or ethnic harassment. Harassment, another prohibited behavior, is also defined in St. Lucie County's policy. Section 2B of the policy defines harassment as any threatening, insulting, or dehumanizing gesture, use of data or computer software, or written, verbal, or physical conduct that is directed against either a student or a school employee that causes that student or school employee to reasonably fear harm to his or her person or damage to his or her property. Harassment may also be behavior that substantially interferes with the student's educational performance, opportunities, or benefits, or any actions that substantially disrupt the orderly operation of a school. Bullying and harassment also include retaliation. For example, it is considered bullying to retaliate against a student or employee because he or she reported an act of bullying or harassment. Retaliation is also reporting, not in good faith, an act of bullying or harassment. In other words, filing a false report of bullying or harassment. Bullying or harassment also includes inciting or coercing another person into committing bullying or harassment, or using any school-owned computer or software to bully or harass another, or acting in a manner that has a similar effect to bullying or harassment. Cyberstalking is another dimension of bullying and harassment. As defined in Section 2E of this policy, cyberstalking occurs when a student or employee communicates words, images, or language through the use of email or other electronic communication that are directed toward a specific person and cause substantial emotional distress to that person while serving no legitimate purpose. Some, but not all of the ways that cyberstalking may occur are through cell phone texting, the internet, instant messaging, or email. It is important to understand that cyberstalking is no less damaging or harmful than other acts of bullying or harassment. In fact, Jeffrey Johnston was a victim of cyberstalking. The next part of the policy discusses the jurisdictional issues surrounding bullying and harassment. This policy prohibits bullying and harassment during any educational program or activity that is school-related or school-sponsored. no matter if it is during the school day or not. Likewise, bullying and harassment are prohibited on school buses and at the bus stop. Students and employees are also prohibited from using any computer system, or computer network that belongs to a public K-12 education institution for the purposes of bullying or harassment. The main thing to keep in mind is that this policy is enforced not just within the school building during the school day, but at any and all school-sponsored events or activities, whether on campus or off, whether during the school day or not. For example, this includes field trips, athletic events, school dances, etc., as well as the transportation to and from these programs and activities. To review and wrap up this portion of the tutorial, we've created a circle map, one of the 8 thinking maps, to provide a summary definition of what bullying is and isn't. Bullying is ongoing behavior that causes physical or emotional hurt. Bullying creates a hostile environment that can interfere with the victim's school performance. But above all, bullying is not tolerated. Bullying is not a single one-time event. Bullying does not encompass applying behavioral consequences that are in keeping with sound educational practices and as authorized by the district's code of conduct. Any person, student, staff, or visitor who engages in bullying and/or harassment may be committing a crime and therefore may be subject to an arrest.